Okay, so I'm actually talking randomly. Today was really nice because I only worked 4 hours on my shift today, and I had to put in 5 hours to be able to go do something with the dance company I'm with. So I won't go into too much detail, but um, I'll just say that I'm glad that I went when originally. I guess I was scheduled, so I was just not really going to go, but I decided to use the time that I had stored to do that. And part of that is because I kind of started connecting, I feel like, um, to people a few days ago when there were performances in Wyoming, you know. Yeah, this is where I was in Wyoming a few days ago. But I just wanted to talk really fast because this really is very self-soothing making videos like this. And I wanted to say two things. First, I don't have a computer available. I'll have to take it in the morning to get a diagnostic because I think that I didn't tell them the truth when I was on the phone. I'll have to like fess up in the morning because I was ashamed to say that I had um, a drink that this spilled on the I forget what it's called, the surface, the motherboard, even though it's more close to where the mouse is. And I really think because that was yesterday, I ruined it today. I did that with another laptop some years ago. On top of already kind of being, I won't say that I'm like a fire starter, God willing, but I'll say that I kind of like when I am very stressed, excuse me, when I experience a lot of stress, um, and when things are stressful, I have this like weird energetic ability. I notice I spark things like the light will kind of spark me, and I know I've like actually like outed appliances in ways I don't think other people have outed them. And I actually read that there is for some people a buildup of energy, and I think this could be even beyond me. I could think it could be like a generational buildup of energy that it almost feels magical, but I think it's that I have energy stored inside that actually shows itself if there's this, if I'm being perceptive in, about it, you know. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, what I wanted to say basically is two things. The first thing is, what was the first thing I wanted to say? um I don't actually remember, but two things. Yeah, the first thing is that, number one, I have to be gentle with myself and understanding that, well, first I kind of will start watching stuff about, it's something that's very important for me to be present to with um foundational Black Americans, um ADOS, how people refer to themselves and why. And it's difficult because I am having to come into my identity as what some people would refer to as a tether. And ironically, it's not offensive to me because I have that thought along those lines. So that word actually defines my experience. The concept of it is very true. Um, what I'm saying is that it's difficult because I will have to come to terms with a lot of aspects of this identity that I carry, and it's taking a certain amount of humility and courage, and that's all I can say right now. That's number one. The second thing is that I want to be gentle with myself in starting to find this voice that I see is an intellectual voice that, luckily, there have been a good amounts of my life that has been nurtured, But when I look at on the extended family level, it hasn't been nurtured at all. And so I have to kind of have patience and understanding and love for this voice that is starting to take root, and understand that this phase is to find that voice, to find that body. And that, strangely enough, I think majoring in French was my shadow self coming into this voice of colonization that I had inherited from a mom who, in growing up in Nigeria, was forced to learn English, but she also lived in the Cameroon. And so Cameroon's colonized language is French. And I remember at 12 when we had to find out the languages, figure out the languages we wanted to learn in school. You know, you could try to learn French, Spanish, or Latin. And I just thought French was like just the prettiest one of the three, so that's why I chose it. And so, anyway, so I think that I'm being able to access my body and my voice through this Act 1. Body, voice, sound. So I'm going to kind of be patient and know that there is something bigger than me at play. Ancestors, a bigger power. Third thing I want to say is that it is so important to let people know that you genuinely care about them. I'm learning that. The law of reciprocity is a real thing. I mean, who knows? I'm reading a National Geographic book about the cosmos and are we alone? And really, who knows if that is like an aspect of physics, the law of reciprocity, you know? And I want to be the type of person that lets people know how they've impacted me positively and pay that forward and show appreciation. I don't want to use people. I want to, I don't know what the opposite would be, but acknowledge kindness towards me and give back in kind. And however, in a way that's not tit for tat, but more so like the natural flow of energy, where you get, and so therefore, maybe the natural thing would be to complete the circle. And giving, I guess, is a way to complete the circle. So that's all I want to say tonight. I kind of need something to self-soothe that's healthier than, we'll talk about ways that people maybe self-soothe another day, because coping can be healthy and unhealthy. And that's it. You know, I could talk about more, but I guess that's all I kind of really want to talk about in this moment. All right, have a good night. And that felt really so good to say. All right, thank you for listening. All right, bye.